What if the world had never read Harry Potter? What if one more rejection had stopped the magic before it even began? Before becoming a global icon, J.K. Rowling was a struggling single mother with a story in her heart and no one willing to listen. This is how she turned rejection into success, proving that the only one who needs to believe in you is you. Before the world knew her as J.K. Rowling, she was Joanne Rowling, a young woman living in Edinburgh, Scotland. Her life was anything but magical. After a failed marriage, she raised her daughter alone, living on welfare and battling deep depression. She was clinically depressed and had even contemplated ending her life. In her own words, she was as poor as it's possible to be in modern Britain without being homeless. But despite the pain, there was one thing that kept her going. A story about a boy wizard who didn't know he was special until one day his entire world changed. Every day, after feeding her daughter, Joanne would take a walk to a small cafe. Sitting there with a cheap cup of coffee and an old notebook, she poured her imagination onto paper. She wasn't writing for money or fame, she was writing because she couldn't not write. Harry Potter, Hermione, Ron, Dumbledore, they were real to her, and she had to bring their world to life. When she finished the Harry Potter manuscript, she knew it was something special. She sent her manuscript to one publisher. They rejected it. She sent it to another, same response. Then another. In total, 12 publishers said no. Some said the book was too long. Others believed that kids wouldn't be interested in a story like this. One editor even said, "There's no market for this kind of book." Imagine being told there's no future in what would define a generation. Most people would have given up, but Rowling didn't. Then came a tiny publisher named Bloomsbury. They weren't a major player, and they were even hesitant. But something happened that changed everything. The chairman of Bloomsbury gave the first chapter of the manuscript to his 8-year-old daughter. She read it and begged for more. That little girl's excitement was enough to convince Bloomsbury to take a chance on this unknown author. Still, even then, they warned her not to quit her day job because children's books don't make money. But Rowling knew better. She had spent years building this world. And now, the door was finally opening. In 1997, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone was published in the UK. The first print run, just 500 copies. But those 500 copies started a wildfire. Kids didn't just like the book, they became obsessed. Word of mouth spread like magic itself. Children lined up outside bookstores. Parents read it with their kids. And just like that, the wizarding world escaped the pages and entered our lives. One book turned into 7, one film turned into 8, and the Harry Potter franchise became a cultural phenomenon. Today, the books are translated into over 80 languages, sold in more than 200 countries, and have earned billions in global revenue. But more than the fame and fortune, Rowling gave something precious to the world: a reason to read. In an age when people thought children weren't interested in books anymore, she reignited a love for reading. Her characters taught us about courage, loyalty, and standing up for what's right. Hogwarts became more than just a school for wizards. It became a sanctuary for millions of children and adults alike. Rowling's story is not just about magic and success. It's about resilience, about continuing to move forward when life knocks you down. She faced poverty, depression, rejection, and loss. But she didn't give up. The truth is, talent alone is never enough. The road to success is full of obstacles. And often, the world won't believe in your dream until you do. J.K. Rowling didn't need everyone to say yes. She just needed one yes. One person who saw her vision. One opportunity to bring her story into the light. That's the power of persistence. That's what turns a nobody into somebody the world can't ignore. She opened up about her struggles, helping others fight their own battles. She reminded the world that you don't have to be perfect to be powerful. You just have to be real. And yes, like every public figure, she's had her controversies. Love her or not, her rise from rock bottom to literary giant is truly unforgettable. So the next time someone says your dream is too big, the next time the world tells you no, or that you're not good enough, remember J.K. Rowling. Remember that Harry Potter was rejected 12 times before anyone saw its magic. Remember that the most important yes starts with believing in yourself. Because the truth is, your story might be the one the world is waiting for. And sometimes, the difference between failure and success is simply this: refusing to give up. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And in the comments below, tell us what's the one dream you refuse to give up on. Who knows, maybe one day someone will be telling your story too. Because no matter how many times the world says no, your yes might change everything.